this young lady I was chatting with. We were tailgating the Eagles game, which 8 a.m. the entire parking lot is packed to the brim. They love Eagles games.
Yeah.
And this young lady asked me, she's like, "Are you a real Eagles fan?" Whoa. I'm wearing an Eagles jersey. I'm not trying to get
Did
bopped.
she think that you weren't? Just you didn't have the Eagles like desperation in your face or something?
I think I was like, "Oh, I'm visiting."
Yeah.
She's like, "Are you a real Eagles fan?" Like we switched here.
Whoa.
I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And she was like, "Good, because if you weren't, you would get shot."
Wow.
Just so intense.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Go Birds." And she was like, "Go Birds." And I was like, "Oh, thank God that worked." Hello and welcome. This is the Nickolas Natali Show, Season 3 finale with Grant Singer.
In this? Oh my gosh. Thanks for having me, Nick.
Glad you're here too. This is just the introduction. You'll get to meet in about 30 seconds this episode as it gets rolling. Something that I want to say right out of the gate is every season finale, I'll get a review that says, "This isn't about business at all." And I just want to say, this episode is no different. You're probably not going to get any business tips or tricks. This is purely a recap of the last season and kind of a catch-up of all the projects we've kind of been getting to over the last few months. So
If your business is like filmmaking, then it is about that. But otherwise, you're out of luck.
you're out of luck otherwise. So in any case, you should tune in and enjoy, because we had a beautiful time making this, and we appreciate that you're here. Go ahead and sign up for the newsletter, and
Happy 2025.
happy 2025. Keep crushing the end of this year. Okay, let's get into the episode. Hey, welcome to the episode. This is Season 3 finale. We're back. Grant's here to support us, bring us home. Welcome, Grant.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here for another season finale. How was the season? How do you feel about how it went? You had some great guests.
I had some great guests.
Tell me your thoughts. Sometimes I interview you on these.
Yeah,
I
let's do it.
usually ask you some questions. How do you feel about season 3?
Good. It was strong. I thought we had some key moments throughout. We also had
Should we
a
do
moment that
we could cut to some clips too.
Yeah, we could. Montage. Roll it.
Yeah, here we go.
Put it on the projector screen.
All right,
Shoot.
nice. Take us through your top 3?
Top 3.
Yeah, top 3.
I think Andrew Glaze was the top for me.
Okay.
He was the ultra marathon runner.
Yes, okay.
I enjoyed him just because it was also, I shouldn't say just because.
Oh.
Because when I interviewed him, I was ramping up to my marathon training. So I was about to do what he's done plenty of times. And he was very transparent about the pain cave.
Mhm.
And I didn't believe him.
Tell us a little bit about the pain cave.
The pain cave. Most marathons, pain cave arrives between mile 20 and mile 26.2. So essentially, the last 6 miles. They'll say there's 2 races. First 20, last 6. And Andrew was like, the pain cave's really tough. You're going to want to quit. Your body's going to want to shut down. And everything in you is going to be like, stop running. This is hard. This sucks. When I heard that, I was like, weak guy here. Can't get. I mean, he's gotten past the pain cave a lot. I was just saying in general.
I see.
You can't get past the pain cave. What do you got? And I was like, this is going to be a breeze. I hit mile 20 on my first marathon. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is so excruciating. It's like, this is horrible.
How would you describe it visually, emotionally, everything, this pain? How can you describe it to someone who's never run a marathon before?
I'll describe it in an experience.
Here we go.
There are these 2 dudes on the running the marathon at the same time. I'm talking about the LA marathon. These 2 dudes wearing matching custom basketball jerseys for themselves paired with jean running shorts, like jorts. Pseudo jorts. It was the material of running shorts, but they look like jeans.
Denim.
Yeah.
I see.
And these guys were just like cruising at a nice, decent pace the whole time. And I saw them and I was like, okay, slowpokes, with your matching uniforms, bye-bye. See you.
Yeah.
I blew by them.
Right.
Mile 20 comes around. I hit that wall and I'm like, oh, this sucks. And then I start to walk. These guys with their pace.
Oh.
They pass me.
Yeah.
Stop for water. Simultaneously chug it together. Double hand high five each other and run by me.
Wow.
That's what the pain cave feels like. Just
demoralizing.
demoralizing. I was like, this is the worst day of my life.
So that was kind of like a slow and steady wins the race moment. They were like, we're going to cruise the whole 26.2.
And they were having so much fun. That's the thing. And
That's
I
what
immediately
hurts.
had no fun.
Yeah. That's what
They
hurts.
stole the fun from me.
What parts of your body are your feet killing you? Are your leg? Is everything just burning?
Everything.
Got it.
Everything kind of feels stiff for me.
Okay.
You feel like you can't really.
Yeah.
It's hard to move.
Yes.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah. Hard to keep moving the legs
Yeah.
forward.
It's like an aching pain for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was your first marathon.
That was my first one.
Do you have plans to run another one soon?
I ran a second one.
You already ran a second one?
I did. I got injured. I already signed up for this other one like 3 weeks after the LA. So I just did that one. I just did that one injured, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I did the
I
San
didn't even-
Diego.
I didn't even know that.
Sneaky.
You snuck that one
I
in
did
there.
a sneaky marathon.
And you were injured?
I was injured, yeah.
What part of you was injured, if I'm allowed to ask?
You are.
Okay. What part of you was injured?
My IT band.
Okay.
Which
That's
is-
knee connects to knee?
Yeah, it's like this big band that goes
Okay.
from your hip down to your knee.
Yeah.
And it's often injured from
Yeah.
overexertion or hills training. And I
Okay.
did both. I know exactly
Ah.
when I injured it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did that feel like? A burning as well, or a stiffness?
It's a real deep burn. Very
Deep
intense.
burn.
Deep burn.
Yeah.
You ever got an Indian burn?
Yes. Are we allowed to call it that
That's what I
now?
was going to say. You ever had a Native American burn?
Yes.
Just double down on it?
When they twist your skin in opposite directions.
Yes.
Yes. I have. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like that somebody's just in there. Just,
That feels bad.
yeah.
But I know exactly what you mean.
Yes.
And now your listeners do too.
Good.
I hope.
They've all went to
They've
elementary
all
school.
Yeah, we've all had those
Yeah.
burns. Why do you think they call it that?
Ooh.
Maybe we better not touch that.
Well,
But
Thanksgiving just passed, so maybe we
it
should.
did. Yes. Raise awareness.
Raise awareness
Yeah.
for Indian burns.
How was your Thanksgiving, by the way? Did you have a nice time?
I did not. I had a really bad one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it like podcast worthy?
Probably
Bad?
not.
Oh. Okay. Next
I mean,
question.
I could top like
I would love to hear
surface level.
Yeah, surface level. What was your Thanksgiving like? This is being recorded on December 1st.
It is. So
Thanksgiving just happened.
Yeah, it just happened.
Tell us your Thanksgiving.
You know, Thanksgiving in my family has a pretty notorious reputation for not going great.
Wow.
And you know, we live up to that.
Every year.
Every year we live up to it. And every year we're like, hey,
It's going to be different this year.
Maybe clean slate, maybe a little different, but we all know in the back of our mind it's going to crash and burn.
gonna
But
be
we
the same.
don't know what's going to cause it.
Wow.
Could be anybody in the family.
Really?
Yeah.
It could be you?
Could be.
Has it ever been?
I hope not. Not to my knowledge.
I'm guessing it hasn't been you.
Hasn't been me.
I don't-
I lay pretty low.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
But this year.
This year, it wasn't me. Yeah.
Okay. But it was someone.
It was someone.
And things took a turn.
yeah.
How far into the meal were you? Did you get to
No,
the-
not even at the
Not
meal.
even at the meal.
As soon as the day started, it was pretty much just like, yeah, game over.
Wow. Interesting.
You ever walked into a room and felt the palpability of the tension?
Yeah.
It's what it was. You wake
Wow.
up and you're like, it's Thanksgiving.
Wow.
There's something
in the air.
There's something here, yeah.
Wow. Did you eat the meal?
I ate the meal.
You ate
yeah.
the meal.
I handled it great this year, I
I
feel
bet.
like.
You didn't get into the fray.
I didn't get into the fray.
You just did it.
I was laughing it off.
Nice. That's a good mentality.
It's a good survival tactic.
Yeah, I agree.
Coping with humor.
You
That's
have
pretty
to.
good. You have to.
You have to.
How was your Thanksgiving?
It was
Yeah.
It was interesting. This Thanksgiving, we went to a restaurant because there were
Fun.
some kitchen issues that I won't get into, but we decided to go to a restaurant. So we went to this very famous place in San Francisco
Whoa.
called John's Grill.
Shout out John
Shout out to John.
and his grill.
I think it was started in like the early 1900s.
Wow.
Real old.
Wow.
Yeah, so super old place, but very cool, very classic San Francisco. We got there, and the whole time we were like on the way, everyone kept talking about how Willie Brown, the most famous like SF mayor, always eats there.
Oh, I love where this is going.
Willie Brown actually like sort of famously discovered Kamala Harris. She like used to work for him. Anyway, Willie Brown's very famous. He's kind of a San Francisco legend.
Mm-hmm.
He always like drives around San Francisco in like a convertible. He was apparently a great mayor. I think it was like before we were even alive. But anyway, he walks out of John's Grill as soon as we arrive, and we're like, there you go.
That's Willie.
Willie had Thanksgiving at John's Grill, just like us. And then we waited for approximately 1 full hour outside, even though we had a reservation because it was so packed. We just froze outside, and they were like passing out cups of wine. And then when someone like got in because they like had their name called,
Yeah.
everyone on the street applauded. So
That's the holiday spirit.
That's the holiday spirit. But it was a really nice time. I would do it again, honestly. It was nice to go to a restaurant because it's like there's no pressure of like,
Exactly.
you know. Have you
Yeah.
ever done a restaurant Thanksgiving?
No, but closest thing that we ever got to it was tacos for Christmas one year, and I thought that was a really good move.
Tacos for Christmas? I kind of love that.
Yeah.
Did you do Taco Bell or a different taco?
I think somebody still
Purveyor.
cooked.
Okay, but
But-
they made tacos.
Yeah, and it was such a simple meal though, as opposed to having 7 different side dishes coming together and
I love that.
main guy.
I love that.
Did you sneak Willie like a little low 5 or anything? Or
I probably should have, but yeah, he walked by so quickly I didn't even know.
oh,
But someone was like, "That's Willie Brown," and then we were all like, "Whoa!"
you guys kind of like brought that to life.
We
Did it
did.
feel a little surreal?
It did.
Kind of just
Yeah.
did we just make Willie go to this restaurant?
Yeah, it felt like we manifested it.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. So that was kind of interesting. But now San Francisco has changed so much since he was mayor. Have you been recently?
Recently enough?
Yeah. So you can tell that the city, it's in shambles.
It is.
To be really polite about it. So that's unfortunate.
It's almost like the tenderloins have extended
Yeah.
throughout.
The Tenderloin is the city.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's if you've been to San Francisco recently, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And if you haven't, maybe wait this one out.
Yeah.
They've got to
You don't
get
have
there.
to.
Yeah. They do have a new mayor though. So hopefully that's going to
Things are
change
looking up.
things. Yeah. The mayor is the like descendant of Levi Strauss, who invented jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
This is
God.
the new mayor of San Francisco.
Such a fashionable city to
I
be
know.
born here.
It's true. And he went to my high school.
Levi.
Levi himself.
Are you serious?
No, his-
oh.
The new
His
mayor. The new mayor. went to
Similar
my-
time as you?
Uh,
Age gap?
A
What are we
little
talking?
bit ahead of me. So I didn't quite overlap.
You're
But
basically the mayor.
him and Ali Wong, both most notable alums of my high school.
Very impressive.
Very impressive. Yeah.
That's wild stuff.
Yeah.
Something about San Francisco that impresses me, but also disappoints me completely.
Horrifies you, perhaps?
Yes.
Here we go.
I think you know where I'm going.
I actually don't think I do.
Sweet.
All
The
right.
organized crime around breaking into cars.
Oh,
It is
I do know.
impressive how organized it is
Yeah.
because it is like a whole regime they got going on.
Yeah.
It's so disappointing that nobody can have a car up
I
there
know.
anymore.
You just can't.
You
Yeah.
can't even park.
When we went up there, we got a rental car and we left everything unlocked.
That's what you have to
Yeah.
do.
Just,
Unlocked and nothing in there.
yeah.
Hey gang, Nick here. If you're enjoying the conversation thus far, please leave a 5-star review on the platform you're listening on. It goes a long way, and please share this episode with a friend that needs to hear about the ins and outs of growing a business. Sharing helps us be able to keep pumping out episodes week over week, so it means a lot. Thanks so much, and back to the episode.
A lot of big things going on in our lives these days.
I'd say.
I don't know if you want to talk about what's going on in your life.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. So you just got married.
I did just get married.
That like last week.
Yeah.
A week ago today.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
I was getting ready to get married.
You're about to be married.
Yeah.
7 days ago. So I got to go to your wedding. It
Right,
was
you were in the wedding.
I was in the wedding.
Yeah.
It was a wonderful day. It was a
Beautiful.
beautiful day.
Yeah.
There are so many elements to all the things that came together to
Yeah.
make sure that it went smoothly, and it did.
Yeah.
The weather held.
Beautiful.
We kept
Thought it
hearing
was gonna
about rain. No rain.
No rain.
Not a drop.
Not a drop.
Not a drop. There was music playing just
Yes.
just next door,
Yeah.
like a band just blasting like
Just
oldies.
distorted
Yeah, just
oldies.
old distorted oldies, and they stopped right before the wedding began.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone played their part. It was a
Mhm.
really beautiful ceremony.
You played the guitar.
I played a little
for the
guitar
ceremony.
for the ceremony. All of that went really smoothly.
Very.
I think everyone really brought their A game.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any kind of feelings now that a week has passed? Anything that you feel very fondly about that happened, or anything
Yeah.
you'd like to relive?
Ooh. Yeah, I'd relive that day. It was so fun.
Just keep reliving it.
Yeah. Groundhog's Day of your wedding
Of
day.
your wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in a
Right.
good way.
Yes.
Yeah.
In a good way. I like that everybody appreciated the personal touches that we had.
So many personal touches.
Any standouts for you?
I would say the personalized notes that every single person got at their
Mhm.
table. There was a place setting that said my name, but it was an envelope.
Yeah.
I opened the envelope, and
Yeah.
there was a personal note
Yeah.
just to me
Just the grant.
from Nick
Yeah.
about what I meant to him.
Yeah.
And it was very special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That
we
was a
did
great one.
I loved the icing moment. I thought that was funny.
Icing.
Icing as in being iced with
Oh,
the Smirnoffs.
Got it.
Not the icing of the cake.
Got it. Yeah.
We placed mini cowboy hats on all the people that were to be iced.
Got it.
And it was a surprise. So 36 people got iced. And it was hilarious.
It was kind of like a mass icing.
A mass icing.
Yeah.
Never been done before.
I think that's probably the most iced
People I've ever
in a
seen.
single moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 36 people.
Wow.
36 people got iced.
And as the legend goes, if you're iced, you have to drink it.
Yes.
Yeah. And did they?
Everybody.
Oh, wow.
One knee.
One knee.
When you popped it.
Wow.
The moment leading up to it was so funny to me because another one of our fellow bridal party associates, I could just say groomsmen, Matt,
Bridal party associates.
our bridal party associate there,
Yeah.
he walked up to the bar and started seeing them putting the ices out and just looked at me and he's like, are we being iced? Like almost like
Yeah.
in between upset and shocked.
Yeah.
And
He
then
couldn't
just
believe it.
completely goes, that is hilarious. And grabs
Nice.
it and slams it. I'm like,
Now Matt
Perfect.
is a listener of this podcast.
he is.
He is.
So big
So shout out to Matt
Shout out to Matt.
right now.
Way to finish that ice.
Yeah. Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah,
How
it was
did you
good.
come up with that idea? Because I would say that is personal because you chose the people who would be iced. I was not one of the people who was iced.
Yeah. It breaks up the pattern of the wedding.
Yes.
I've been to a lot of weddings, and
You
it's
have.
very like, I know this is going to happen,
Yep.
and I know this is going to happen, and I know
Yep.
this is going to happen. A lot of times, guests are kind of just like waiting to get through until the dance floor
Yeah.
opens for them. So it's
Yeah.
like, hey, this thing's for you, and
Yeah.
you have no idea it's coming.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Get slammed.
How did you come up with the small cowboy hat idea?
I needed something to be able to indicate that those were the people that were going to get iced,
The chosen ones.
the chosen ones. And the coordinator of that place would not let me put it under people's seats, which is what I wanted. I wanted them all under
like
the seats.
Oprah style.
Oprah
like
style.
Check under your chairs.
Yes, and you're iced,
And you're iced.
which I thought was going to be so funny because
Yeah.
it would come out and it was going to happen earlier in the day.
Yeah.
But she was like, we can't serve alcohol outside of the bar area or it has to
Oh.
go from behind the bar
Yeah.
to the person or something.
Interesting.
So I needed something that would be like, if you have this thing,
Yeah.
you get to move
Mhm.
to the bar,
To the bar
like some indicator.
for a surprise.
And I thought the
Yeah.
mini cowboy hats were kind of like,
Yeah.
kind of fun.
It's a shame that you didn't bring out Guinness World Records to be there for the mass icing.
Yeah,
Yeah. But if you are getting married anytime soon,
take that.
take that. That's
Yeah.
a really cool idea.
Yeah.
And as you said, everyone is used to the pattern of weddings.
Mhm.
There's a structure. We all expect certain things to happen. Another thing that was really fun, which I'll let you share, is the one biting a cupcake
Oh,
moment, which is
yes.
another really lovely surprise. And that came from your experience at weddings.
At weddings,
So
yes.
tell us a little bit about that.
I've been to a lot of weddings, and every time I go to a wedding, they have desserts, and it's usually a cupcake. It's usually a full-size cupcake.
Full cupcake.
Or a slice of cake, or a cookie, whatever it is. I one bite it, slam it, put the whole thing in my mouth.
In one single bite.
In one single bite, you can't get multiple.
Mm-mm. You put the item
Yes.
into your mouth fully
Yes.
and then chew and chew and chew until it's gone.
Until it's gone. Yeah, that's it. That's all you get.
And that's sort of a celebratory.
It's just,
thing.
yeah.
But I'm like an anthropologist. Like, and your culture celebrates how? I like that. That is the sort of flavor that you add to other people's weddings
Yeah.
to kind of break up the
Monotony for
structure.
myself.
Yes. So then you added it to your own as
Yeah.
a way that we could all sort of participate in that tradition that you've
Yeah.
created
Yeah.
to make weddings more fun.
Yeah.
And we did. You were kind enough to give us mini cupcakes though,
Yes.
because there's old people there. We can't all.
And I've had
choking.
practice. So much
You've had practice, yeah. So there's a choking hazard associated with
Right.
one biting a full size cupcake. But we all one bit
Mm-hmm.
a cupcake all together,
Yes.
sort of in lieu of a toast.
Yes.
We all did
Instead
the
of
cupcake.
drinking champagne,
Mhm.
everybody one
Yes.
bit a
One bit of cupcake. I will say, so the way that we found our tables was we went up and we said our names and they gave us a glass of champagne and told us where we were to sit.
Yeah.
So I took the champagne. By the time I got to the table and settled down, I had pretty much finished my champagne.
Nice.
And then there was a toast where we were all supposed to raise our glass
Oh boy.
and clink glasses.
Yeah.
And everyone at the table did that. And they sipped their champagne. And I just had to pretend like a little French mime that I still had liquid in mine, although clearly I didn't because I had already
Did you hold it
consumed.
at the part where
I just
you
hoped
couldn't see?
just hoped no one noticed.
Mm.
Yeah, because I didn't want to seem like holding like a silly
Yeah.
person holding champagne from the
Yeah.
what is that part
The
called?
stem or no the base?
The base, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah. So
The base
anyway,
of the base.
that was a little bit embarrassing, but I'm glad that I got to do the cupcake thing when everyone
Yeah.
else did it,
Yeah.
and not just when I saw it.
Yeah.
Just cupcake.
Ooh.
Yeah, because that's what I did with the champagne.
Yeah. Smart.
I don't know. I felt like I maybe had jumped the gun on the champagne.
I don't think that's a bad move. I think you could
So-
always get more.
That is. Oh, really?
Open bar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Man. I did have 2 cups of tea at your wedding as well.
Yes, you did.
I bet nobody else had 2 cups of green tea at your wedding.
I didn't know we had tea there, so that's the biggest part.
That's kind of a fun thing.
Yeah.
It was getting a little cold at the wedding because Temecula, I guess, is like... Am I allowed to say where it was? I just doxed your wedding.
Well,
It's
can they
too
dox
late.
me now? Yeah.
Can't.
They can't crash my wedding now.
That's true. It was getting a little cold in the valley.
Yeah.
And so I had 2 cups of green tea, warmed me right up, got me locked in.
Some energy,
Delicious.
some caffeine.
Got a little caffeine, got a little warmth, and I was good to go.
I love that.
Stole that champagne right out of the toast moment, and
Yeah.
I was
Bam.
good.
Bam. We're back.
We're back.
Yeah.
We were so back.
So
Also had a lovely table. Nice personal touch there. It's just the clear amount of care and attention that went into where everyone was sitting.
yes.
And it really showed off. I mean,
Yeah.
it paid off.
Yeah. I was pretty stoked about that because when we were making our rounds, which probably made it a little too late, but whatever. When we went to every table told us this is the best table.
Yes.
Like we're so stoked.
Yeah.
So much better.
And I'm glad they thought that
Me too.
because my table actually was the best.
They lived in their ignorant
They lived
bliss.
in their little fantasy, and we were the best table. And the reason that I know that is because there was sort of a cool thing that you all did, which was the dinner was a buffet.
Yes.
And to make sure the line was orderly,
yes.
they made sure that everyone went up table by table to get their food. They did like a trivia thing.
Yeah.
So you ask a trivia question of the group, and then whichever table answers correctly first gets to go up to dinner in that fashion. And we got it first, just like immediately.
Yeah.
We were the first to eat at your wedding.
Nailed it.
And that's how you know ours was the best table. Yeah. Right up.
I loved it because you guys had strategy. Trivia is your thing.
Trivia
I
is
should
my
have
thing.
known you would
Yeah.
have gotten number one. Trivia is your
This
thing.
is true.
Yeah. His hand went up before the question was even asked. He was so confident
That is true.
he was going to get it right.
That's actually hurt me in the past, but
Paid off.
it paid off at the wedding.
You knew it was going to be softballs. I mean,
I didn't. Some of them weren't.
that's true.
I
The
was-
one about my book, my favorite, for which book I haven't read, was pretty.
Oh, which one was that? I didn't hear that because I
Okay.
was busy eating. Because
yeah.
I was,
It was like
What
one
was
of
the
the
trivia?
questions was like, which one of these is not one of Nick's favorite books?
Okay.
There was 4 options.
Okay.
Do you want them?
I do.
Oh,
Let's see
wow.
if your listeners know. Put it in the comments.
How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Okay.
Think and Grow Rich.
Okay.
Principles.
Okay.
4-Hour Work Week.
Wow. Boy, I don't think I would know that one.
That was a tough one.
That is
I
a
don't
really
think-
tough
I don't
one.
think many of the crowd or the yes knew.
Yeah. Do you want to reveal it or do we have to let people guess?
Well, you got to shoot one guess out into the
Hmm.
ether here. Can't let you skate by unguessed of sorts.
I want to go with the first one, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
No, that is
That
my
is
favorite book. That
that's
is
your
my
actual
#1
that's
favorite
number
book.
1. Okay. I was thinking maybe it's a trick question.
Its Principles is probably not my top 4.
Principles. Okay.
Ray Dalio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have not read that book, so
I've only read bits and pieces. It's so long.
it's not for you.
I like it,
Okay.
but I mean, I
not
don't.
a top favorite.
This is actually topic of conversation.
Yeah.
I reread books.
Yeah.
That's like pretty much
Great.
all I do.
Really?
Yeah, like I think a lot of people read new books.
Yeah.
I will just read the same books.
book, just to soak in more. And also, every time you read a book, I feel like you get something else out
Yeah.
of it. It's not the same experience.
Yeah. What do you do?
I usually don't reread books, but there are a few books that I like. One book that I'm looking forward to rereading is The Goldfinch. It was a book that I read when I first got COVID. I was down for the count for like 10 days.
Down and out.
Yeah, down and out. I read this book. It was a movie, but I haven't seen the movie. I heard it's not very good. But it's very long, but it was like such a great, fun, exciting adventure. So many different journeys. It just feels very much like a movie. And someday I would love to adapt it into a mini series because I think that would be a better, because it's
Better
so
fit.
long. Yeah, a movie was like not the right call. But if you haven't read that book, I would highly recommend that.
It is.
And I do want to read that again.
fiction.
It is fiction.
I need
Yeah.
to get into fiction books, so I will
You
take
read
that.
you read knowledge books.
I only read knowledge.
Only
books.
knowledge
But I would
books.
love to get into fiction books.
Yeah.
Because you have such a great vocabulary.
A vocabulary of fiction.
You have a
books.
big fictional vocabulary.
Made up words.
Yeah. You're so good at gibberish.
I really am. Yeah. I would recommend that one.
Okay.
And there's that one actually, I remember as I was reading, I was having to look up words.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
I want some of that.
There's a lot of words in there that I'm like, whoa, that's a
Mm.
big word. That's a new word.
Yeah.
I do love that book. I think you would love it as well if you like almost like a coming of age adventure story, because it's very like,
Who doesn't like that?
who doesn't like that?
Who doesn't?
How could you not like that?
We have all come of age at some point.
Some of us are still approaching that
The
moment.
age, yeah.
The age. But yes, the wedding was wonderful. Getting back to that, a lot of really great moments. There was a moment where Nick and his now wife had their first dance, and then it turned into kind of like a really fun choreographed breakdance inspired.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, because Nick is a famous breakdancer, as was mentioned at the wedding.
Ray Gun.
That's right. So that was amazing. They did a little needle scratch, and then it turned into kind of a whole new dance number. And I did not want it to end. So
That's awesome.
I was sad that it ended. It was like a substantial dance, but I was like, give me like 5 minutes.
Keep going.
Like, do not stop. It was so good. You guys were in sync, which was like a beautiful symbol of like being married. You were like exactly in sync, and I was like, man, that's marriage. Like you're a team, and you're like mirroring each other, and it was like very beautiful. So yeah. 10 out of 10.
I'll have to do another.
I think you should get married a second time.
Yes.
Just so we can all enjoy just how great it was.
I think maybe we'll do like a renewing of vows or something.
Oh, yes, you should. Yeah. Yes, you absolutely should do that. Do they usually do like a ceremony party thing for that?
Everything I've seen on TV indicates
Television.
probably.
TV stands for television.
We don't want to mix any acronyms in here.
Yeah, it's true.
It's kind of like the military,
Yeah.
You got to be up on it.
You got to be up on it. Yeah. For those listening, TV stands for television.
Just snuck it in under television. That's gold.
That there would be like some kind of party of some kind.
Yes.
A celebration.
A celebration of sorts.
I forgot. Do you do that at like 5 years or the
That
renewing?
seems soon.
So 5 years seems soon. Maybe it's 10.
I'll give you 10.
You give me 10?
I think maybe decade.
A decade.
I think you could probably get away with doing it every decade.
I agree.
10, 20, 30, 40.
I agree. I went to one of those on a cruise ship.
Oh my gosh.
As you know, I'm a bit of a cruiser.
You are.
Yes.
Yeah.
I usually go with my family, and we see places on a boat of some sort. And we went with a family as well, and they did the renewing of their vows, and the captain does it because, as you probably know, the captains are like
They're ordained.
Yes.
Wow.
So captain did it in like the little area where they do the entertainment, and then shortly thereafter they did a dance show. So
How about that?
that's the kind of quality of vow renewal you get on a cruise ship.
That seems pretty good. Magician still in attendance, or
He probably was. He probably was. On that particular ship, I think the big like showstopper was the stand-up comedian that was on the ship. I don't remember magic on that particular.
That'd be hard to mix into comedian with your renewal or
With
vows,
your
I think,
renewal,
unless they
yeah.
were ordaining you, maybe.
Maybe.
But I
Yeah.
could see like a magician. You renew the vows. They throw down the smoke bomb. The couple disappears.
Oh,
They're in the balcony. They're
Yeah.
wearing the captain's clothes.
wow.
I think that would be a hell of a magic trick. Because then you're overlooking everybody that loves and supports you,
Yeah.
and they're like, ah.
Yeah. Now, I didn't expect you to say that they would both be in the captain's
They're both
clothes.
wearing the captain's clothes. One gets the shirt, one gets the pants. Or you think they both?
I think they both have.
I think they should be identical.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably identical.
for the symbolism's sake again.
Now, where is the captain in this?
Oh, he's behind the curtain naked for sure. They did the
Yeah.
quick change.
I think that's great. As you know, we both love magic.
I'm into it.
We're both really into magic. We went to a magic show together.
We did, yeah.
Like maybe 9 months ago,
Oh my gosh.
I think.
It's got to be.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I think we went like early spring, maybe
Yes.
like March.
Yes.
It was in Santa Monica.
Yep.
We saw some amazing magic
We did.
in a nearly empty theater, but with a very devoted group of audience members who went to a magic show at like 7 p.m. on a Friday night.
Yeah.
That's where they wanted to be.
And the magicians, they gave it their all.
They gave it their all.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
They weren't deterred by audience size at
No,
all.
no.
They brought it.
They brought it. The music was loud.
So
they were
loud.
into it.
Yes.
It was amazing. And I felt like
And the music was getting messed up.
it was getting messed up.
Yeah,
Yes, I
yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
There was some like bickering back and forth, like the sound tech or something. So that's
Turn it
always
off.
fun.
Turn it off.
So off
Turn it
now,
off
yeah.
now. Trick hasn't started.
So that's always fun. You went up on stage.
I did.
You did, and you did a beautiful job.
Do you think so?
I think. I mean, the trick went flawlessly. I was very worried. I was like, this trick isn't going to work. How could this work?
I thought it wasn't going to work because the dude, me and one of the other audience members, I was locking eyes with him while I was up on stage, and he was telling me the answers. And I was like, this guy's going to blow the trick for the magician.
Oh.
And it still went totally
it still went
fine.
fine.
You can't trick the tricker.
You felt like it's a good thing to
Bar.
remember. Yeah.
I'm going to put that on a quote card
That's
to
a
post
good
later.
one. Yeah. Nickolas Natali. Can't trick the tricker. I felt like you were choosing things randomly,
Mhm.
and then it ended up being like, whoa, that was what the magician knew you were going to pick.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you had full control over what you were picking?
No.
Okay.
It was kind of like, hey, and he was kind of like,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
I don't know.
Oh.
Like, I was catching a vibe. I was catching a vibe from the magician. You know,
So you were feeling like
I wanted this guy to have success in his.
So you were choosing what you felt like you should choose.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I was tricked from the audience. I was in
on it.
You were in on it?
I must have been, right?
I don't know. Did you feel like you were?
I'm probably
kind
making
of a
this
little
up,
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. From the audience, I was like, there's no way this is going to work because Nick is clearly choosing things without knowing what to choose. And
I didn't know what to choose.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah.
And
it would have been funnier if I was just like, he was like, which one do you want? And I pulled it from behind his ear.
Yeah.
We started doing this little.
Whoa, back and forth.
Yeah. I think you have to tell the bowling ball trick.
The bowling ball trick.
Which was insane.
This is the best trick of the night, probably. So the magician came out. This was his very opening moment.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of, he's meeting the audience for the first time. And he does a lot of sleight of hand. He's pulling like cards out of his jacket. He's pulling like various like small things. And then at the end of the trick, this has been going on for a couple minutes. By the way, just to allow you to kind of see this, he's in a suit.
Yes.
Like a black suit, blazer, like, you know. Into this trick, like towards the end, it's been going on for several minutes. He draws something on a like large pad of paper.
Yes.
And it looks to be like a bowling ball.
Yes.
And we're all like, oh, that's interesting. Why would he be drawing that?
Yeah, why are you doing that?
Yeah. And a bowling ball, as you know, is very heavy, very large.
They are.
There's absolutely no way this man could be hiding one. And then from behind the pad of paper,
yes,
a bowling ball falls out and lands on the stage like a real bowling ball.
A real bowling ball.
And it's impossible for him to have hidden it anywhere because he's running around the stage in a suit. He has nothing else in his hands.
Nothing. The thing that I remember that startled me was he slammed the paper on his chest and yelled. And
a bowling ball fell out. Sort of the way a hen might lay an egg.
Oh my gosh. That's exactly how it was.
That was how it was.
He henned a bowling ball.
It was incredible. And that's how it all started.
That's how it started.
Yeah.
They should have closed with that.
They honestly should have closed.
Because my expectations were so high.
They were probably too high.
I was like, this guy's going to have bowling balls like fall from the ceiling.
From the rafters, yeah. That was the only bowling ball we saw that night. But it was really memorable.
It was.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun experience. And maybe at your vow renewal, you can have a magician.
I think I got to learn the bowling ball trick.
I think you do too. Obviously, it was on him somehow. But again, just to reiterate, he was just a guy in a suit. He didn't have a bag with him. He was a guy standing on stage in a suit.
Yeah.
With no bowling ball.
No bowling ball. Where did he hide the bowling ball?
I just don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. That was crazy.
That one's for the record books.
Yeah.
Any magicians out there, I want them to like find it and dissect it.
True.
And pop it in. Actually, is it better left unknown?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because we'll carry that with us forever.
Yeah. As soon as it's.
How was that trick done?
Who's to say?
Who is to say?
Hey, I've got a question for you, Greg.
Yes.
You made a feature film.
I did.
Yeah.
I made a feature. I made a feature film.
And that went on us.
Yeah. So for the past almost, now 2 years, I have been trying to make a feature film. You know, like a real movie. I went to film school and I made a lot of short films.
Yeah.
And short films are great. They're a great way to learn. Over time, I have found that short films maybe aren't the best thing to move your career forward. They're an amazing way to learn. So if you are interested in getting into film, it's a great place to start. But a short film usually won't change your life. And at this point in my career, I kind of wanted...
You want some life change?
I wanted to change my life.
Yeah.
So for the last 2 years, I've been trying to get a feature film off the ground.
Yeah.
And it's been really difficult.
Yes.
First thing, they're really expensive.
They are.
They're really expensive. It costs many thousands of dollars. Multiple thousands of dollars. I think most indie feature films, a lot of them can make it under $1 million, but some of them under $5 million. Yeah.
Wow.
Because it takes a while to shoot them.
And there's people. There's location. You need equipment. You need props. You need costumes and makeup and
insurance.
Yada and insurance.
People don't tell you about that, but insurance is a big one. They don't talk about that in film school.
They don't.
There's a lot of things they don't tell you that are like very important to know in film school. In film school, you're playing on easy mode. You don't have to worry about insurance. You don't have to worry about equipment rental.
Probably not permits either. A little more run and gun, or do they get on you?
It depends on how far along you are. By the end of film school, you do have to get permits for your films, but you don't have to do anything with insurance or equipment rental or anything like that. And also casting. At least where I went, they let you use SAG actors for free because they had a deal with SAG. Like literally, they cut a deal with SAG, like the union.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was
baller.
It's super baller. They were like, you can use any SAG actor you want under our agreement. It's free.
Wow.
Literally, you don't have to pay them.
Oh my gosh.
We have a special agreement with SAG. And they did. And we used SAG actors the whole time we were in film school. Even for like the most boring classroom exercises, we had SAG actors. It's like super over the top. But again, great experience, but easy mode. Like that is not what the real world is like. SAG rates are very, very high.
Yeah, they are.
So if you're making a movie outside of that experience, you're like, whoa, it costs a lot of money. And of course you have to pay crew as well. So there's all those aspects that make a feature film much harder than you think it's going to be. And most feature films take a long time to shoot. And every day is just like, that's another multiplier of all these costs.
Cash.
I would love to talk more about making a feature film at some point because there is so much experience.
Don't cut it short, baby.
That I learned. But in any case,
all right.
It's been several years. And it was really hard to find a feature at like a scale that was feasible. And Nick, you and I have been talking about this for years.
Yes.
You even pitched me an idea, which I'd love to read at some point.
Yeah.
But in any case, it's very hard to make one. And finally, after many, many ideas, I think we wrote maybe 5 scripts. My friend and I, Jesse, we wrote 5 scripts. And then finally on this last one, which I think was number 5, might have been number 6, we just were like, let's just have 2 people in a room. Like, that's it. Just like you and I in this very room right now. This is the scale of the feature that I just made with Jesse.
This is so exciting.
I know.
I'm living in it.
We could make a feature right now. So it's 2 people in a room. It's a motel room, which is like cool. Like, ooh, why are they in a motel room?
And it could go either way.
And it could, all kinds of like tension happens. We learn about their relationship. It's kind of all set up and then slowly like turns into sort of a thriller.
Oh.
And
it's a man-woman?
Man-woman.
They're in a relationship? Are you allowed to tell me?
I won't reveal, but as you watch the
I'm already so interested. Look at this.
As you watch the movie, you kind of suss out what's going on between them. And then around the halfway point of the movie, a third person shows up.
Who could it be? It's a magician with a bowling ball.
Oh my gosh. It's another man. But I won't say more.
That's all I needed to know.
That's all you need to know. But the way these dynamics change over time is really what the movie's about. And again, that's like a really small idea. It's like all in one location. There's only a total of 3 actors in it, really. And even that was really hard to make. It took a very long time to make, and it was very expensive.
How long did it take?
To shoot, it took 2 weeks, which seems like kind of a lot to shoot like something that's only in one place that takes place over
3 actors.
Yeah, that takes place over one night. Like the movie is in real time, which I kind of love.
Yeah,
it like all happens like in the span of like
that's so great.
The length of the movie. So it's kind of cool. But there's no like time jumps or anything. So it's kind of like a play actually, if you're familiar with plays.
Mrs. Doubtfire, I saw that earlier this year.
Yes.
So very familiar.
Mrs. Doubtfire. I really wanted to see that. I hope they do it again.
I couldn't stop saying Mrs. Doubtfire as Mr. Brightside every time I read it. Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
That's good.
There's just a little sidebar for you.
That's a good one.
Yeah, thank you.
You played Mr. Brightside at your wedding also.
Close it out.
Yeah,
close it out, Mr.
Brightside. In any case, it took several weeks to shoot. It took months to prepare. And as you know, we were like not sure we were going to even still be able to do it because we had prepared many features before then and not been able to make them. And I remember telling you when we were having coffee over summer, I was like, this is it. Like if this one doesn't work, then I don't know that we can keep doing this.
Yeah. Because you had started others in like
many.
Even done like a mock shooting of one.
You were in that?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
you were a part of that?
It wasn't like wrote a script. It was like wrote a script, try to make reset.
Did it again.
Many
times.
Yeah.
The one that we did over a year ago was like we did test shoots.
Yeah.
You were in our proof of concept for the world of that movie. In any case, obviously we wouldn't have done that if we didn't think we were going to make it.
Right.
So anyway, we finally got this one off the ground because it was so small. And that's really, if you're starting out as a filmmaker, I think I cannot emphasize enough how small you need to think when you're making a film. It is crazy how small you need to think.
In terms of resources,
Resources, scope.
yeah, complexity.
Yes.
Yeah, this is making me think of The Whale.
The film
The
Whale.
film The Whale.
The film The Whale.
The film The Whale is
Not the animal.
not the Marine Mammal
Not
Center.
the Marine Mammal Center.
Thank God you
Yes.
wore that.
I know. So glad.
Because it's all in one location.
Yes.
And it's exceptional.
Yes. And it's based on a play.
Oh, well, this is adding up.
Yes.
Mm.
We looked at a lot of those films that were based on plays, honestly. One of them was Doubt. It's like a really small thing. The Whale is a great one. Literally one location. What was the other one? Oh, Rope, the Hitchcock film. Definitely check that one out. All one location, real time. Tape, Richard Linklater. We were like looking at all of these movies, and I had never
It's
even
good
heard of
inspiration.
Tape.
Wow.
My colleague Jesse found it. But yeah, I think those are the things you should really be looking at as you're like making your first like film. It's like one location. What can happen in this one space? Because let me tell you, a lot of stuff happens in one space in real life.
Yeah.
So you can do it.
Yeah.
You can find interesting things, but it is tough to make it interesting for 90 minutes. So
Has to be enough conflict.
yeah,
Enough
but The Whale is
up
full
and
of
down.
conflict.
All conflict.
They did a really good job of making every scene in that feel like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen now?
Yeah. Because it's always at stake for him.
Always.
They had the relational stakes
Yeah.
with each actor together, but they also had the like life or death
Yeah.
at stake the
Yeah.
entire time,
Yeah.
which helps. It's almost like having a gun in the room.
Really smart. Absolutely it is.
Yeah.
It's like, because from the very beginning, you know that he is, if he doesn't change his ways, he's going to die.
Yeah.
Like he's told that very early on.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's all you think about. It's in
Yeah.
the back of your head the whole time.
you're familiar with the Chekhov's gun thing?
Tell me.
So Chekhov's gun is like this concept in film and literature and everything, where if there's a gun on the wall in the first chapter, by the end of the book,
Someone
someone's
has
gonna,
it.
yeah, someone's gonna fire the gun. Because why would it be on the wall otherwise?
Yeah.
So this idea is like very prominent in pretty much everything that you watch. But there you go with that. I mean, they set up in The Whale, no spoilers, that his life is in danger because of his health. So that's sort of the Chekhov's gun, the Chekhov's whale.
Yeah.
If you will.
The Chekhov's Whale.
Yeah, The Whale, the movie.
The Whale, the movie. The Whale, the Whale, the movie.
Great movie, amazing performance from Brendan Fraser. So glad he's back in the mix. George of the Jungle, one of the best.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a great movie.
Yeah.
I think there's a gun in that movie too.
There is. You're right. And is that the one with one of them's a lighter and one of them's a real gun?
I think so.
I think they do that little switcheroo thing. That's
There you have it.
Chekhov's gun.
That's just Brandon Fraser's like signature move then, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
The other thing that I always think about too that kind of makes or breaks shows or movies that I watch. I'm not going to say TV again. We've already discussed the acronym.
If you forgot what that stands for, just rewind.
There's a segment earlier where we
discussed
kind of like round table the meaning.
What TV means, yeah.
The old dead dad. The old dead dad card.
Tell us more about the dead dad card.
The dead dad card is when you want to add some depth
Yes.
to something that might not even need the extra layer
Yes.
of emotion or heaviness,
Yeah.
but it's just like, well, my dad's dead.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, where did that come in the
Yeah.
plot? Why'd you do that?
Bit tacked on.
Yeah, it's a tacked on
It's
thing.
a tacked on thing.
It can work if it's like part of the core plot.
Yes.
But when it's tacked on, it just feels like we didn't need this.
A lot of time I see that in student films.
Mm.
And in a lot of the student films and short films that I saw out of school, it was the dead mom card. I'm
It's a
curious.
similar card.
It's similar card. I'm curious to see how that breaks down just overall. Like
Statistically, like who gets more?
Exactly. Are there more dead dads or dead moms? Usually I see it with like it's a gender mix. So if it's about a girl, her dad's dead. If it's about a guy, it's the mom. That's usually how it is. And then there's usually a missing parent as well. Because I think orphans or like people without parents, that's like a big thing in movies and books. Because you think of like Disney movies, a lot of times the characters, like the beginning of their journeys, like their parents
Are
gone.
Yeah.
I think about that in like Frozen and like just so many movies like that. Bambi. Going back to the beginning. I know. Seriously. It's like a knife in the heart, but that is the easiest way to get like a young character's journey started, because they wouldn't have to go on a journey otherwise a lot of the time if they have a parent.
The hero's journey
Begins when you lose something.
Wow.
So I think that's why that's used, but it's such an easy card to play, especially like in student films and that kind of thing. So if you're, I would encourage people to like look for other ways to
Be more creative with it.
be a little more creative with it.
Create your own card.
Create your own cards.
Yeah.
Because there's so many cards left unturned at the moment, I would say.
I think that too.
I
I think it's a go-to because it's been done before.
Mhm.
We've seen it.
It's easy.
Yeah.
It's very cheap. It's like a
Yeah, that's
cheat
great
code.
word. Cheat code, yeah.
It's a cheat code to like emotional stakes and depth.
Mhm.
And I've given this note on a lot of things that I've seen. It's like, don't kill the mom.
You don't have
kill the
to.
dad. You don't have to. You don't have to.
People like them.
Yeah. And I think I am starting to see a shift a little bit, I think, but maybe it's just because I'm seeing things later and my friends are older. We're all more mature. We're not playing those cards. Also, I should say that like I don't think I've ever played that particular card, but I've used cheat codes before as well.
Yeah. We have
Like,
to try them
I'm
out.
not trying to say that I'm better than anyone for
Yeah.
anyway. I think we're all further along in our careers. We're like making better choices about the cards we play. But yeah, what I've been seeing more often is like finding more stakes in identity,
Yeah.
because we can have parents. They just maybe don't understand us. They
Mm.
don't need to be dead.
Yeah.
Our journey can still be about ourselves. It's just that our parents maybe aren't such a big part of that, because we're trying to find out who we are and where we're going. And I'm seeing a lot of things that are a little bit more about that kind of story. And that's really cool, because I think our generation especially, we're like looking for what our lives are going to look like. I think they're going to look really different than our parents' lives.
Mm-hmm.
I know ours do
They already have, yeah.
because we're doing different things than our parents did. So I think our generation is like kind of looking for the way forward and trying to figure out what our lives are going to look like. That's a story in itself.
Mhm.
That's like our hero's journey.
Mm-hmm.
That's my speech.
I thought it was really good.
Thank you.
I think it was a really good speech. But I think it also is very true because we actually go through those things.
It's
you know?
true. And yeah, it's totally universal.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it is somewhat a privilege to be looking for your identity, because that means you must have some things worked out in your life.
Yeah, some sense of security to have the time
Have
to
the time to do it.
to reflect and
But yeah, I believe at its core, this idea of like, who am I and what do I want in life? It's like that story can be told probably an infinite number of times in different ways.
yeah.
But in any case, made a feature. It's in post right now.
Yeah. How many cuts have you done? Have you done one cut?
We're on cut number 4 now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but
wow,
I should say that these cuts, it's like completely arbitrary. Like every time I do like changes, I'm like, let's call it a new cut.
Yeah.
I would say that really this is like a less rough cut.
Okay.
Really is what I should call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because our first 2 cuts were like rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say this is like more of like a fine cut,
Okay.
you might call it.
Yeah.
And then there was like cuts before the first cut. So
What do you call those? Pre-cut.
assembly
cuts.
where it's just like, here are the pieces, I guess put them here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then
Yeah.
you watch it all the way through.
Yeah. And then you watch it all the way through. That's the hard part about editing a feature.
I was going to say it's so long. You're rocking at least 90 minutes to review a new cut.
Yes. If I'm going to be working on the cut today, I know it's going to take at least an hour to like look at, probably to like review the first half of the film.
Yeah.
Because I'll have to stop. I'll have to, so that's just like, it's like, how many movies did you watch today? 5. It's the same one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 5.
Like,
yeah,
what
it
are
was
the
just-
most number of movies you've seen in a day? I've probably seen this one more. And it's just like, that's part of the experience. So I think if I were to do it again, I wouldn't want to do the writing, directing, and editing. That's too many.
Which one would you get rid of?
I don't know which one, but I would get rid of one of them.
Because there's so much, each of them influences
Yes.
so much.
Yes. So much. And there's like a quote that a film is written 3 times: when it's written, when it's directed, when it's edited.
And you would pass that.
All 3 times it was Jesse and I writing it. So
I don't know how you get rid of any of them. I really don't.
yeah.
If you want it to be yours.
Yes. True. That's true. I think more often than not, the editor is usually not the director. Usually you would hire an editor. There's a lot of writer directors out there, but not too many director editors.
Right.
So I would say probably that would be the one that you would look for a collaborator.
So instead of you editing, you would give notes on each cut.
Yeah.
That seems fair.
It's totally fair. That's
Especially
usually
if
how
you
it's done.
directed it because you know what you got.
Yes.
That makes more sense
Yeah.
to me. So you would get rid of editing.
Yeah. I think, well, it would be hard for me to do that because I love editing.
Yeah.
But I would like to try getting rid of one of the first 2 just to see.
There's no shot. You would get rid of writing?
Maybe.
No way.
Maybe.
In what world, Grant, would you get rid of writing?
Nick is sort of touching on my control freak tendencies.
No, I'm more so saying since since the first time you came on this podcast,
Yes.
you talked about writing.
I sure did. I recommended writing books.
Yeah.
I do love writing, but after this experience, I'm like, give me a little vacation from writing, because you know what writing is like. You sit down and you're like, I don't know what to write.
What do I have here?
Yeah. So it's a very punishing process. Whereas editing, it's like, well, all the material's here. I just need to put it.
That's a great point. I get what you're saying.
So I do love editing, and I think the next one, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully there is a next one. Honestly, we'll just say that, because it was a great experience making such a small little movie.
Let's say this thing gets done. You sell it?
That would be the goal. Yeah.
Okay.
Try to sell it.
Yeah.
Get it into a festival. Get people to see it. Hopefully someone wants to buy it and put it on Tubi.
Tubi. So Tubi's the goal.
Tubi's
We
kind
want
of like the
Tubi.
gold standard.
Really?
Is
Is that true? I feel like I could get a contact at Tubi for you.
That would be great.
I really do think I could.
Really?
Yes.
Tubi is like kind of coming up, and Pluto TV. Those two are like really popular.
I have a connection.
I know you have a
Come
Pluto
on. What are
TV
you talking
connection.
about?
I feel like those two are like, I am seeing people getting content on those platforms because their business model is like, I don't know about Pluto TV, but it seems like Tubi's business model is like working for them.
Yeah.
And Netflix is hard, and they also don't pay very much to license things. So
And probably to get that meeting is
tough.
Hoopla.
Hoopla, yes. Hoopla TV?
Hoopla TV.
Hoopla.tv.
We should start that.
.gov. Yeah.
Hoopla.television.gov.
Yeah, it would be great to get distribution from one of those kind of places. Doesn't matter which, just it would be nice to sell the movie and get to do another one, and we just keep doing this until we, get old and become magicians like we really want to be.
Retirement job as magician sounds pretty clutch. I always go back and forth between mailman, but I think magician could probably do it.
I wanted to be a mailman when I was growing up.
It just seems like such a sweet gig.
Seems like a sweet gig. I was torn between mailman. This is going to sound crazy because we live in LA, but I really also wanted to be a street sweeper.
Oh. Like the
Now-
guy that drives the thing? That actually seems kind of fun, but you're saying people hate you because they make you move your car? They don't hate you. They hate the parking enforcement guy.
I guess. Yeah, that's true.
I like that my streets are cleaned. I just don't like that the guy gives
you
a
tickets.
fat ticket
for
parking on my own street. How dare he? In his
Seriously?
little tripod scooter.
Do they have those here? I know they have them in like SF and stuff. The little tripod scooter. I just want to push it over.
I'm so shocked. Every time I see them, I'm so shocked they're not getting berated by someone.
I know.
Like, I've never seen a confrontation or conflict with any of them.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
I know.
You're asking for it, guy.
Seriously. Yeah.
This guy's not even in the red, and you're giving him, you're going to get it.
It's true.
Give me the keys to your tripod scooter. I'm the tripod
It probably
scooter.
doesn't even have keys. It just has little pedals,
Like those toddler toy scooters.
Yeah. I'm kind of a parking ticket magnet. So
How many you got this year?
none this year.
Oh, I must have got yours then.
Have you gotten a lot this year?
I'm like 5.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I got probably 5 in college
Okay.
over those.
I am
years.
college you.
Yeah.
I'm coming of age right now.
You're coming. This is your moment.
Yeah.
I'm okay to park outside on Sunday, right?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Otherwise, I was gonna say.
Otherwise, we're gonna have to berate that little scooter tripod guy.
Seriously, that's true. Do you not see the signs? What's happening? Why are you getting so many in 1 year?
I get them because, here's the thing.
Hear him out.
Hey, hear me out. I'll set a little reminder on my calendar, and then someone will be like, "Hey, can you take this quick meeting?" And there you have it. I take a meeting right when I'm supposed to move my car, and since I don't see the reminder because I'm in the meeting,
you forget.
I forget.
Yeah.
Because then I'm just like, I'm
very
just
reasonable.
I'm just cruising.
But you're not someone who would like not pay a meter, just like hoping that you wouldn't get a ticket.
I'm not trying to get tickets. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I've experienced this pain enough.
Yeah.
You know?
It really does hurt.
It hurts because it's like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Nobody wants it.
Nobody wants it. It hurts.
I never have a hankering.
2 times, 2 of the tickets I've gotten, I've been in an unmarked curb, like unpainted, but there was like a sign down the block that had the little no parking with the arrow. And I'm like, how would I even?
How would everyone
it's
know?
Great. It's a gray curb. It's not red.
This is fair game.
Seemed fair game. And I was kind of like in a hurry, so I wasn't going to run down the block. I thought, okay, I don't see a sign. It must be fair game.
Yeah.
2 times that's happened. Different places.
Can't believe it.
Can't believe it's not butter.
I cannot believe it's not butter.
Yeah.
I once got a parking ticket. This one's on me.
Okay.
Hey, this one I'll fully take.
Let's hear it.
This was pre-LA though.
Okay.
So it was
San Diego?
It was in Santa Monica, but before I lived here.
Oh, okay.
So I was coming here to visit.
Yeah.
Nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
Open spot. I park.
Yeah. Sounds
I
great.
wake up.
Yeah.
I go out there.
Yeah.
I have a ticket for $405.
Oh, wow.
No permit because I don't live here.
Yeah.
Handicap spot.
Oh, handicap.
There's a
Was it
blue curb.
a blue curb you didn't see?
It was dark.
Oh, it was dark. Yeah. Truly.
I got blue curbed.
You got blue curbed.
I'm like, wow, I still this handicap person spot, and I got to pay triple
Yeah.
because it's a handicap.
That's how they do it.
That's how they do it. They triple the price.
That's so sad. Did you have to? Could you contest it at all?
I tried.
You tried.
And they were like,
There's nothing you could do.
You must be anti-disability, folks, so we're going to double down. And I was like,
Now
this
it's
is
600.
Yeah. How dare you?
I'll keep doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. That's city of LA. They don't like it when you
Wow. I saw an article that was like all the most vicious parking places in LA, and Santa Monica is like very high. The other one is Culver City.
I believe that.
You've seen the signs that are like, yeah, they want you to like.
It's absurd.
Yeah.
If I have to
It's
like
insane.
take 5 to 10 minutes to like
To read it.
read it, do the math on it, do
Yeah.
the time math on it,
Time math. It's a real thing.
it is a real thing.
Yeah. I wouldn't even park in Culver City. I honestly wouldn't. I would just
Bus it,
bus it.
bus it
Uber it. I don't know. Have you tried Waymo yet, by the way?
once.
Once.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I
Love
did it when I was in the Bay.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's pretty nice. It's
Yeah.
very smooth.
Super smooth.
Super smooth.
I also saw the video where one of the Waymos went through the hood and everybody was congregating around it and smacking it and hitting it, and the dude just like trying to wait it out. There's nothing you can do, you know.
Is that in LA?
I don't know if it was. It must have been.
I know they did something like that in after the Dodgers won. They like destroyed a Waymo, but I don't know if it was that clip that you saw.
We can't have anything.
No, not in DTLA.
No.
Yeah.
Did I send you the? I saw this sad little thing. Hopefully I sent it to you. Maybe I shouldn't be sending you sad little things.
Oh,
There was this experiment. It's called the Hitchbot.
okay.
All right, sweet.
It's not
nice.
ringing a bell.
Okay, love it.
I think I would have remembered Hitchbot.
Hitchbot. I don't know who put this experiment on, but essentially they built this little bot guy
Okay.
who sole design was to hitchhike.
Oh,
So he had his thumb out.
Okay.
He could talk to you
Oh.
and like carry conversation, but he
Cute.
couldn't move. So it was up to people to
like put him in the car.
put him in the car and
Okay.
take him to his next destination. So he was trying to go from one side of Canada to the other.
Okay.
Successful.
Yeah.
And there's like pictures with like people
Aw.
taking him across the way.
Yeah,
Switzerland might have been the other one. Switzerland or Sweden or one of the two.
seems like a safe place.
Yeah. He made it the full way across. It was
Wow.
great.
Yeah.
They put him in America.
Yeah. I'm about to be so sad.
They got to Philadelphia.
Okay, that's not far. Do they start from the east?
I'm imagining.
Yeah.
And Philly tore him apart and set him on fire.
Wow.
Basically, I don't know if they set him on fire, but they like ripped his head off and
Oh my God.
killed him.
Wow.
They killed him. He could
Wow.
not make it through
Wow.
the U.S.
That is so sad.
It's so
What do you
sad.
think it is about the U.S. that is so angry?
Toward automated,
Yeah.
self-automated.
Yeah. A hitchhiking thing.
Hitchhiking.
Honestly,
Or a Waymo.
the lesson that I get from that is don't hitchhike in the U.S.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Less so about the robot, more so about maybe just
Maybe just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The U.S. is just such a big place. There's so many people. There aren't that many people in Canada.
Great point.
So the percentage of like,
In a city here versus a city there, we're so much
different.
denser.
yeah, so much denser.
Yeah.
There's so many more people that you could interact with.
Mhm.
So the chances that you'll interact with
good
someone
versus
who's like,
bad.
yeah, it's like the odds are maybe not as much in your favor.
You might be a Hitchbot.
Yeah, that's right.
I sent that to because I recently went to Philadelphia.
Oh, you did? Yes.
Yeah, and I met a couple locals there.
Yeah.
I sent it to one of the local Philly people
Yeah.
that I met there, the Hitchbot story, and I
Yeah.
was like, "You guys owe this robot an apology."
Yeah.
He said, "F that robot," and I was
Nice.
like, "This
There you
is
go.
You know
Shouldn't have
what?
gone through
You
Philly.
probably killed him.
Yeah.
You
Should not have gone through Philly.
Should have gone around.
Yeah, seriously.
If he had communication skills, he should have said, "Take me around Philly
Yeah.
to get me home."
That's true. I would have done that if I were that bot. If
Honestly.
I were me, I would have done that. I'm like,
Yes.
can we not go directly through Philly?
Especially for hitchhiking.
I,
You're gonna drop me off.
I think I'll hold it until we get out of this area.
Yeah,
Yes. You were in Philly.
that wasn't Philly. Yeah,
How was Philly?
lovely.
Nice. You didn't get beaten
Counter
up
to-
and set on fire?
I didn't hitchhike, so
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never been to Philly.
it is gritty. That's
Nice.
how I would describe it. Some fun facts about Philly.
Tell us.
Everybody there is wearing Eagles gear.
Okay.
You are out of place if you're not wearing green
Wow.
any day of the week.
Wow.
It is like a uniform there.
They really care about the
Go
Eagles.
Birds.
Yeah, go Birds.
But I love that.
Yeah.
The fact that you can make eye contact with anybody and say, go Birds. And they'll say, go Birds.
Wow.
And you're just connected.
That is kind of awesome.
It's also
Yeah.
a de-escalator.
Okay. They should have trained the little Hitchbot.
Yeah, hit them with little go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. This young lady I was chatting with, we were tailgating the Eagles game, which 8 a.m.
Yeah.
The entire parking lot is packed to the brim. They love Eagles games.
Yeah.
And this young lady asked me, she's like, "Are you a real Eagles fan?"
Whoa.
I'm wearing Eagles. I'm not trying to get
Did
bopped.
she think that you weren't? Just you didn't have the Eagles like desperation in your face or something?
I think I was like, "Oh, I'm visiting."
Yeah.
She's like, "Are you a real Eagles fan?" Like we switched here.
Whoa.
We had a little. I was like, obviously I'm gonna say yeah. You know, like I'm not.
Sure.
I'm like, yeah, I am. And she was like, good, because if you weren't, you would get shot.
Wow.
Just so intense.
Yeah.
And I was like, go Birds. And she's like, go Birds. And I was like, oh, thank God that worked.
You passed the Hitchbot test, but it did not. Wow.
Just broke it up.
I remember when they won the Super Bowl, they like burned down like a whole neighborhood.
Happy or sad, they're burning it down.
They were burning it down. They were like, they were greasing the lamp posts and they were like burning cars. It was crazy. People were climbing stuff.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It is crazy.
We don't really have anything like that here, I don't think. Although they did kind of burn down some of downtown.
I was going to say, we got
some
some
Dodgers one.
Mm.
That was like kind of crazy.
This year?
Or this past year, yeah.
Oh, wow.
They were like looting in downtown LA.
Really? Didn't you see a whole
They
lot
like
of
brought out the SWAT team. There's some crazy videos.
You can't win around here and you can't lose around here.
It's true. When I was in high school, the Giants won the series 2 times.
Whoa.
And they did like a parade. But everyone was just stoned. So it was like very mellow.
They're like,
not me.
Giants.
Because I was not of age. And not cool.
Not cool.
More so the second one.
Wait. You're saying it's not cool or you weren't cool?
I wasn't cool.
So nobody would offer you drugs.
Yeah,
I got
exactly.
you.
I wasn't 18, and even if I was, no one was gonna be like, this guy probably smokes marijuana. So that was my high school Giants experience.
Tim Lincecum, probably.
Dimmy.
Tim.
Yeah.
What was his nickname? Wasn't he real long and lanky?
He was. Did he have a
I thought he had like a lanky nickname or something.
I remember there was like the beard.
Oh, the beard was a time.
Yeah.
That was a time to be alive
yeah.
during the beard.
Yeah.
He dyed that beard for sure.
Oh, to make it like
so dark and black.
dark. Timmy. I don't remember if he had a name.
Hmm.
Yeah. So looking forward.
Yeah.
Any resolutions for 2025? This is the last episode. Where do you see the show going?
The pod going.
When's it gonna come back?
So, last time we discussed.
Yeah.
Suspense you got going on here.
I'm so eager to know.
I basically said that I would do this for 7 years.
Yes.
And then change course if need be.
Wow.
Next year's going to be year 6.
Whoa.
I think I'm going to rebrand and do everything differently for the last year.
Oh my gosh. Okay. But that's not the last year.
That'll be the last year, I think, right?
Oh, you're not going to do
627?
627. Okay.
Right?
Not inclusive of 7.
Oh, I didn't even consider that.
Well, it's up to you. It's your show.
I guess it's true. But I mean, if the rebrand goes well, then obviously I'll keep it going.
Keep going. So you're not going to say obviously what the rebrand is yet?
I'm not finalized on it,
okay.
but
it's going to be totally different.
I'm open to brainstorming.
Wow.
Yeah.
Could be anything?
There's 2 routes that I'm kind of playing with in my head.
Okay.
Is breaking it up into 2 separate podcasts.
Oh, interesting.
So one of them would be completely going into our comedic roots.
Nice.
Like something fun, something creative. I think something that I'm missing here is like it doesn't scratch as much of the creative itch as much anymore.
Yeah.
And then the other one would be more entrepreneurial, more for generating revenue and being really business oriented. So that's very pinpointed and focused. Well, the other one gets to be like, let's make something hilarious and
so
exciting.
Your current podcast is like a brain and you want to split the right and left.
I do. Oh my gosh. What should we call that?
There could be the left podcast and the right one. But it makes sense.
A podcast for the left, a podcast for the right.
For the right, yes. Bridging the divide, or really splitting, becoming more divisive, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this particular podcast, you've had a lot of creatives on, but you've also had a lot of business folks. So making a home for each one kind of makes sense.
But I'm also acutely aware of the idea of focusing on more than one thing can become difficult. So
this is true.
It'd be a balance of like since we're putting out 4 episodes a week, 4 episodes a month.
I was gonna say,
Wow. Whoa.
How are you doing that many?
Yeah. Maybe it would just be 2 and 2. Like have both of them be bi-weekly, you know?
Oh yeah.
Might be easier to manage.
Very cool. Well, there are so many creatives you can talk to in Los Angeles.
Exactly.
It would be like nonstop.
Oh.
There's so many more probably than there are business people. I don't know. It seems like this is a town of dreamers.
It is.
Yes.
And it'd be so fun.
Yeah.
Like I would love to get some more. I have been, I'm not going to say that opinion too loud, but I would like to get some more.
He's going to say it quietly.
Yeah. I'm going
to get
having more like, comedians and creatives.
Yeah. Getting
do
coffee.
the circuit.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Comedians and creatives podcasting.
There needs to be a layer. I haven't figured out what it is. What do you think that layer is?
Like a thing that you do every time?
Oh,
like the shtick?
Yeah, maybe a shtick.
Huh.
I think Hot Ones is an incredible layer.
So good, yeah.
So good.
That is really good.
I think they really took the cake with that one.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes the cake for sure.
Take the cake.
Yeah,
that is right. Okay, good. I was just thinking of somebody stealing a cake, and I was like, how would that?
It's a piece of cake, and they took it.
Yeah, they took it.
I think it's actually far better than Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, because if you watch that show, they're like still kind of guarded.
Mm-hmm.
They're driving around in Jerry's many cars, and he talks about the car, and then they drink coffee, and then they like have a little pastry. Hot Ones, it like takes you down.
Yeah.
Like you're becoming your truest self.
Yeah.
Because you're on fire.
You go survival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like fun to watch, and yeah, it makes people more vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do having a coffee in a $100,000 car? How vulnerable are you going
What
to
if
be?
I spill it? You know?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like you're too on edge.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're like plumbing the depths there the way Hot Ones. Yeah, Hot Ones is kind of perfect. It would be hard to do something better that's so disarming.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that the activity aspect is important. So maybe you could incorporate that.
I do think it's important too.
Yeah. Give them something to do. Give them some business, as we say. Something to do with their hands. You know?
That is nice.
A little business.
Yeah, a little business. So I've come up with a handful of ideas that I think could work.
I remember we talked about, there was like one we were going to do on airplanes.
Oh yeah. I was gonna pay for a day trip.
Yes.
To random cities
somewhere.
With a guest.
Yeah.
Very expensive.
Very expensive. It would add up, but if you use Southwest, maybe get the like one and get away deals. Those are usually like $49 a ticket. You know,
that'd be great. That's kind of doable.
It's kind of doable.
But you'd also need a guest that'd be like, let's go to the middle of Nebraska for 4 hours just to like see what's up.
I would do that, but the plane part of it would be pretty boring. I flew back from San Francisco, and it's less than an hour, and I was like, when are we gonna land?
This is too much.
This is too long. I'm tired. But being in Nebraska for 4 hours would be really cool. I wish we could just teleport, because that would be a fun podcast.
That would.
Like, I'll take you somewhere. You won't know where.
Yeah.
It might not be interesting.
Yeah.
But we'll just explore.
And we'll have a great time.
Yeah, we'll have a great time. We'll just comment on the things we see.
I guess you could not include the travel portion. You could in editing teleport, but unfortunately you would have to live through it.
Yeah.
But the guest would probably only remember the experience of being like, we did that thing.
That is true, because that's how our memory brains.
I've had so many horrible flights that I'm just like, I'll probably never think about it.
Yeah. Never really remember it. The one that I just took it was literally yesterday. I'm already like, what did I do on that flight?
Yeah.
We did a crossword. That was it. We landed.
Crossword guy.
Yeah, big crossword guy.
I feel like you probably do Sudoku.
No, I'm not a big number guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is surprising to hear.
Yeah, more of a I like the word games more than the number stuff.
That adds up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It was there.
There it is.
Time math.
So yeah, the podcast where you go somewhere would be cool.
Yeah.
But maybe you could start more local.
That is probably our best idea.
You could even just try restaurants and podcast during them or something like that.
I have an idea for a series.
A series?
A social media series.
Oh, okay. Not a TV
I have
series.
2. I'll pitch you both.
Here we go.
Big pitch.
Yep.
So my neighbor.
Yes.
He's probably not going to love that. Whatever. I haven't pitched him on this, but he is.
Okay.
He's an excellent chef.
Okay.
One of the best.
Nice.
Actually, like in the industry, he is well known in his
Yeah.
industry. I would love to do a series where it's cheat days, where we hit like 3 restaurants in one day,
Whoa.
chosen by him because he knows all of these areas.
Yeah.
It's like finding those local foods that are probably just horrible for you, but taste so good.
That's great.
And I think
100%.
that the layer of having him and also the layer of each of the restaurants would be really fun.
I think that's a great idea.
Nice.
I would listen to that. I would actually watch. Oh yeah, you would watch it. That
Like
was a
1
social
minute,
media
3
series.
restaurants.
Yeah,
I think
1
that's
minute,
awesome.
3. Wow,
Yeah.
that's very cool.
Yeah.
And there's so many restaurants in LA where you could probably find delicious things.
Yeah.
That are very bad for you.
Very true.
You had a second one?
Pitch number 2.
Here we go.
Pitch number 2 is occupationally.
Okay.
Getting different occupations to see how many push-ups they can do in 30 seconds. So it'd be like, you're representing nurses here today?
Uh-huh.
Okay. How many push-ups can a nurses do in 30 seconds?
That's pretty good. What would be the first one you'd do? Would you want to do someone who's like really fit and then just see what happens? Like a personal trainer. Boom.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Tow truck driver. Boom.
Also very fun.
Yeah. Just keep librarian.
Oh, I would love to know.
That should be the season finale.
Go over to the Santa Monica Library and be like,
Yeah.
hey, could you bang out some push-ups real quick?
30 seconds. Once it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you really, how many can most people get in 30 seconds? Maybe like
I don't know.
20 at the most fit?
At the most, yeah.
Most fit person?
Yeah.
So it's really not that many push-ups
I feel like I could do 10.
in 30 seconds?
Yeah.
So what would you want your occupation to be? Writer? Director? Editor? Which one of them is going?
Ah, boy. I guess we'll say editor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I sit around a lot.
Yeah.
So it'll be impressive.
Nice.
Yeah. Director's like on your feet more, so.
That's true. That's
Don't
why
wanna
I would love to
represent
get
them.
like a firefighter.
Yeah.
And just see.
Yeah.
See, you know.
Yeah.
Because there's connotations on all these occupations. but
Absolutely.
Now we're
I would
putting
think
it
a
to the-
firefighter would be quite fit and
Right. And watch them get toasted.
Yeah.
Like maybe.
next to a librarian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Grant? What's on the horizon for you?
Wow. Well, finishing this film is
Yeah.
going to be big.
You have a timeline that I can kind of look forward to. And
We are hoping to get this movie done in January.
wow,
Yeah.
like finalized.
Yeah.
Holy cannoli.
I imagine that the holidays will slow things down though.
As they do.
But my birthday's in February, so I really am motivated to get it done before I turn 30.
Yeah.
I really wanted to finish a film before 30.
You kind of have to.
I know.
You have to.
I have to. So that's my
Man,
goal.
Wow. Yeah.
Short term, yeah. And then long term, I would like to make another film, but I honestly it really depends how this one goes. I'm not even planning anything because I'm like, we got to see if this one worked. We got to learn from it. We got to see like what to do different, or if it works really well, to do something very similar, but
Mhm.
maybe hopefully a little bit bigger
Bigger.
in scope. Yeah, that's like the big thing for me. And then I also have a pitch for you,
Yeah.
which is a very small idea.
I love it.
As you know, I'm not the biggest fan of short films at this point. I think that they're, maybe they're not always worth the amount of time that they take. But I have an idea
Mhm.
for a short film that could be shot easily in a day.
I'm so excited. Lay it on me.
Maybe not easily, but you could do it in a day. It could be easily done in 2 days, but certainly you could do it in one. It starts with this person he's in a dark place. He might be kind of tied up. We're not really sure where he is. But then we start to realize we think he might be in the trunk of a car.
Oh.
And we're just starting to learn everything that we're experiencing. We're kind of learning in real time. So we start to realize, okay, he's in this dark place. Okay, he's in a car. And he's like going somewhere. We don't know where. He's trying to get out of the trunk though. And we see maybe the taillights light up the trunk red at one point. So we're like, where's he going? Why is he tied up?
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to get out. He's really freaked out. He's like yelling help and everything. He's trying to get out. And then he's going over like a bumpy road. And we're like starting to track, like he must be out in the middle of nowhere or something. It's like there's like, this kind of action in the trunk. And finally the car stops. And he's like really freaked out. He doesn't know what's going on. Trunk opens and it's like very bright. And there's a guy who we assume maybe is like kind of a thug or something. Just like a really like, I'm imagining like the kind of classic mob in
Heavier
a
set
suit.
kind
kinda deal.
Okay, yeah.
But wouldn't have to be.
Yeah.
Because I was actually imagining it might be played by you.
Oh wow.
That guy.
I'm that guy.
I was
Okay.
thinking,
Wow, this
when
is great.
When I first came up with the idea, I was thinking you might be the like victim guy.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I think it would be more interesting if you're the like thug guy. So anyway, the guy in the trunk is like really freaked out. He's like, please don't kill me. Like, I promise I didn't do anything wrong. That kind of thing. And the guy just doesn't say anything, grabs him and takes him basically on this walk through this not abandoned, but like this wilderness area. And it's like actually quite beautiful. And it's like through a forest. He's just like marching him through. He might have a gun pointed at him as the guy's like marching ahead and his hands are tied and he's like really in a bad way. And he's trying to like talk his way out of it, but the guy is like
Not giving him anything.
not giving him anything. So he's like going on this almost like a hike through this area. And maybe they start to like talk a little bit and just like a little bit. We get a sense of like maybe why he's here. And the guy with the gun is like giving him a little bit. Nothing has like changed. He's still like taking him probably to kill him. And the guy knows that. So they reach this final area and the guy hasn't put on a blindfold. And he's like really freaked out, but he's like, I'm going to kill you if you don't do this. Puts on a blindfold and they go to the spot and we just stay on their faces. And you just hear this like really nice sound of like a river, and they both sit down. We turn the camera and we just see them and they're just sitting looking at the river, and it's this really beautiful nature scene. And then we finally hear from the guy, the thug, and he's like basically saying, you know, I've been doing this job for a really long time, but I want to like try something different, and I want to see what forgiveness feels like.
Wow.
And he's like, I want to just try a different life starting today. I want to just appreciate like a moment like this and everything. And then they just sit there, and then that's how it ends. It's just like this beautiful little Zen moment. It should be as scary as possible leading up to this moment. Like you really think, but then it just like takes a really unexpected turn. And I think that would be a really cool character figure. Like I feel like I could see, because I know you said you sometimes get typecast as darker roles.
Always.
But I think you could use that and then kind of like turn it on its head a little bit and play against our expectations.
Finally.
Yes, exactly. And then we could have this moment where it's like genuinely beautiful. I have it written down and it's probably better than what I'm pitching now.
I was there the whole way. You just took me through it.
Be kind of cool.
And
amazing. It's not hard at all. It's like a trunk in a car, and then somewhere where there's hiking that's not as close to people and stuff. And then like a river of some kind. So I think that would be very, very doable. And it's just unexpected. And maybe even like kind of nice. Kind of has a nice message. An unexpected message. That's my pitch.
It's a great pitch.
I've been meaning to pitch that to you for over a year, probably. At least 6 months, I think, whenever I said that. But it would be so easy to make, and I think it'd be really cool, fun to watch, and it'd be less than 5 minutes. It's just like a little thing. It's like just a little thing with like a little bit of a feeling at the end. I
love that.
That's it.
There
you go.
We always talk about this. The worse the villain, the better the hero. The contrast would be so So
you could really hone what the guy that's about to get killed, maybe. You could really hone like what he's like. Is he an older guy? Is he a younger guy? Does he seem like he's like a scumbag a little bit and he's like getting what he deserves? Or is he like really innocent? Like you could really play with those things. But I think why you would be very good for the bad guy is that we wouldn't be able to read what you're going to do. You wouldn't be talking much. You wouldn't be giving us any indication of like what's going to happen. And I think that's like key to making the short work. Because it's got to be that surprise at the end. Where you like turn over a new leaf.
He doesn't have that quick transformation that sometimes we see in scenes where it's like they say this certain thing and they're just like
doesn't happen. His journey has happened on this walk or maybe before.
He decided and then he's redeciding maybe.
Maybe so. In any case, it happens without us knowing, which is kind of cool. It's not like we're trying to be like everyone if they just like we're not trying to do that.
He might sit down next to that river. He's like, I want you to have one good last moment, and then I'm gonna blow your brains out.
That genuinely could be. So I wanted it to be like very hands off in terms of the storytelling. Just let these people do it and let the audience really be like guessing, kind of keep it pretty ambiguous in that way.
I love it. I'm in. When do we shoot? When's our first day?
Well,
it's gotta be March. March, April. So you can finish that.
Oh yeah, that's true. I gotta finish the feature first. But once it's done, we'll look at that because I think that sounds like one day, right? There's nothing really in that.
No costume changes. No.
Really easy. I think probably just finding the right outdoor location. Then you're good.
And you can use any trunk.
You can use any trunk. I was imagining yours though.
That's hilarious. My trunk's pretty big. And then that could be shot. We could have the trunk open, I guess, but do it in like a dark area so that it seems like the camera's in the trunk. But really, we're not closed. The trunk isn't closed. So that's like one take, basically, just like that. And then the walk, which is just a bunch of shots of them walking. And trail. Maybe saying a little bit, maybe not. So noodle on it. Think about what those two characters would be like. Because I did kind of imagine you as
the thug guy.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, imagine your backstory and then think about who you might be taking on this walk.
Yeah.
So I'm putting it to you to maybe put some of these pieces together.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's the best thing you could give an actor.
There you go.
Let them choose their background.
That's right. I'm really concerned about the vibe. So
Mm.
I'm going to be thinking about that. How does it look? How does it feel?
Yeah.
And then I would be curious to see what you bring to it. And then if you know someone that would want to do that other part, because it's really easy. It's just two people.
Yeah.
But think about who would be the best person to be along for that journey.
Right.
The other thing, sorry, then I'll be done.
No, I love
I
this.
promise.
I'm eating it up.
You're probably going to have to cut this episode down. There's a lot of fluff.
No shot.
No shot?
Yeah, no, they get it all.
All right.
That's what finales are for.
Yeah, that's right.
They want the most.
If anyone is still listening, thank you, Matt.
Kudos.
It's just Matt. The thing I like about it is that we think the main character is one person, but it really isn't. It's the other person. Because we start with the person in the trunk and we think he's the victim. We think he's the protagonist.
And we're rooting for him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
By the end of that short, I really want us to be more interested in you.
Yeah.
And realize that we've actually been seeing sort of the intro to your story.
Yeah.
So you could imagine it being like the beginning of a feature where then you would either rewind to see your life leading up to that moment or your life after this kind of moment.
Yeah.
But it does feel to me like the beginning of a story.
Yeah.
And it's fine with me to like leave it where it is, but
yeah,
it could be the beginning of something.
You have an ending to a short.
An ending.
Yeah, a closing. You're always telling me that the ending of
That's true. That is true. Yeah. That is very true. In any case, that's the idea. Really simple. Really couldn't be any more simple. But think about it.
I will.
Be very curious to see what you would do with that. And then maybe the next podcast episode that gets recorded,
it's us. We'll pull down the projector again and we
can watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can talk about your experience making it.
Yeah. And I'll do all of the work on creating the backstory, who this person is.
And if you feel like sharing that, I think it would be really cool. Yeah. I would find that really interesting to hear about.
From pitch to realization.
From pitch to completion.
Pitch to completion.
Pitch to completion. That could be your creative podcast name.
I just let any guest pitch me on anything and then I have to make
it. Have to make, you're like, I'm like 3 weeks behind already. It's only week 1. I have so much to do.
They wanted to do like a turtle racing series. I don't know where to get these turtles.
Where do I get the turtles? And I'm supposed to paint it for some reason. I don't know. That came into play at the end. All right. That's all I got for you, Nick.
It's a beautiful pitch.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Grant, where do we go from here?
Boy. Is it time to
might be
put the wraps?
Put the wraps.
Man.
Put the wraps on the finale. Hot dog.
Wow. How many episodes this season?
I was gonna say, I think once again close to 30. Another close to 30 season.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Pretty consistent on
delivery?
Yeah, and season length. I wanted to mention one thing.
Yes.
But maybe this is better offline.
Uh-oh.
I'll do it now. I guess I said it out loud.
Here we go.
Last season, season 2.
Yes.
We had an episode where a lot of people hate listen to it.
Yes.
If you recall.
I do. I know exactly the one. It was edited here, wasn't it? Together?
Yes.
Yeah. I do know that one.
We had one of those this season.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
we won't say who, right?
We won't say who,
okay.
But if anybody's listened to the whole season, you probably know who it is.
We know it wasn't the marathon.
No, he was really well accepted, very well loved.
People like that,
and performed the performance of the episode was great. So
that's great.
He was very well received. But there was one episode,
people
and
hated.
It's always interesting the hate listens because I do get hit up way more about those.
Yes,
I get way more texts and messages about hey, what was that all about?
Yeah,
and are they trying to ping how I feel about it? Like, hey, what'd you think of this episode? And I'm like, I know you hated it.
That is like the Yelp thing. Like, people are more likely to write a negative review because they're like more.
There's so much.
Yeah, no one's like, I loved it. I mean, people do,
but they have to love it.
Yeah, that's true.
To really be
that. Yeah, it's so easy to get mad.
Yes.
So there's one of those this season.
Yeah.
So listen to the whole season.
Yeah.
And then you'll know.
Sounds yeah.
Wow.
You'll find
amazing. It. But overall, a great season.
Great season.
Big one coming up. Maybe the final one. Maybe a rebrand. We'll see. Things are going to be changing around here. So, but that's good. That's what life's about.
Grant,
Nick,
thanks so much for being here.
It's my utmost pleasure.
Yeah. As soon as your feature film comes out, we gotta blast this thing out.
It's true.
I'm gonna say
we will.
Hey.
Yeah.
Join the email list.
Ooh.
And then I can email you the
link.
Feature.
Yeah. Once it comes out.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hopefully a big deal.
Yeah.
It's definitely been a long time coming.
So, yeah. I'm excited to see it.
And then the short.
And then the short.
This little weekend short guy.
The weekend short. Keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
Come Q2.
Q2.
Q2 of 2025.
That's right.
Boom.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being on. Should we do it in unison? Bye. Yeah, that felt right.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. That was the episode. You just listened to it. Grant Singer and I bringing the house down.
I loved it. Thank you so much for having me, Nick.
I'm glad you were halved. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review and share this episode with a friend that you think would enjoy it. This is going to be the last episode for a while, so go back through the archive and find the one that tickles your fancy the most.
There's a lot of them, so enjoy.
Enjoy. Bye.